pump goes, because I don't think it's obvious.
Here's a,
It's fairly obvious.
I don't know if you want to put anything on there. It's marker. We took the pump apart because we're not sure if you should be able to hand turn this thing.
But you can't.
You cannot, even with a nice grip from some pretty big channel locks. It wasn't turning. I don't see any damage to it.
That turns just fine.
Okay. And I would also put some assembly lube down in there because it's going to turn before the transmission fluid gets to it. So to show us the bottom of the other piece there, where is?
Let's stick it back together. I think it's okay.
Yeah, I don't think we're understanding it correctly. I don't think you necessarily should be able to turn that with your hand.
Torrington bearing here that's going to go on the bottom side of the oil pump. You're going to drop that in first. And yeah, go ahead and give me a little of that. But pay attention real close here. This lip that's on the one side, let me see if we can get focused. You'll see one side is totally flat and the other side has a lip. You want the lip facing up. If you put the lip upside down like this, it'll appear to go down in there, but it won't seat firmly, and you'll end up having to crush it in there when you tighten it down.
Damaging the thing.
Right. So we're gonna just put a. It's already pretty good, but I'm just gonna drop that in on there and make sure that it is firmly seated, and I'm gonna work it around with my pliers. Yep, and that is the way that it is supposed to go. Next, contestant.
Now these seals on this pump are just kind of like piston rings.
Right.
So they're all good. I would lube that.
Oh, it's lubed. You can. It's dripping with fluid. All right. Do we want to replace this seal here? I do have it.
Yeah, let's do that.
Okay. Faces out.
And once again, we got another perfectly good seal we're taking out. But might as well. I mean, you're going to have a whole rebuild kit.
Just about. I mean, there's a few things we omitted from a full rebuild, but
You mean it didn't all come in the master rebuild kit?
that was the thing. Oregon Performance, they did not include in their master rebuild kit
Well, I didn't want to.
6 or 8 different parts that you would need for a master rebuild kit. So
Yeah, I think it's just the way that whoever designed their website.
yeah, the
did not
website
have
kind
a
of
job.
blows.
The company delivered, you know. They just.
And the parts are good. I'm not giving them that big a rash, but they're just.
assumed we'd know what was.
Well, yeah, and this is our first time, so they shouldn't have assumed that.
They should have a place on there that says, "Is this your first rodeo? Go to this page."
All right, let's orient this right. You cannot get it wrong because the pattern of the bolts, it has to go on like so.
And you could still spin it after you get it down on there.
We do want to line it up close as we can. Oh. I can see the. I did move my. There we go.
I think I'd put some lube around that seal, the new one you just put on. Okay, we lubed that seal so it dropped in a little bit better.
There's the hole there. There. Why is it not lining up on these? Maybe another way to put it in.
You see those two cogs there?
Mm-hmm.
They got to engage those teeth. I would put some assembly lube on those two gears right there, for sure.
Well, the problem is, it looks like. Let's see. It goes like. There we go. It goes like this.
Were you doing it wrong?
Yep. Sure enough. Those here covers.
Yeah, it's seated to the gasket now. Was. It nice.
Move.
What'd you
I moved out of place just enough to
Mess it up.
screw with me.
do? The 5/16 inch socket took these out. I think Mopar says 8mm. I think those are pretty similar, maybe. Is that it, this one?
It might be that one. I think you are correct.
I used to remember the torque spec for these things, just snug and all the way around.
I remember that one was a little bit of a bear. I'm gonna finish tightening them with a socket or a ratchet.
Okay. Look it up if you're gonna do one of these. I think it's 24 foot-pounds.
Be very handy to have an extension.
We're gonna test this bypass valve in case
It
if
goes
the
right. Where does it go?
somewhere in there.
Oh, well, let's see. No, not there.
Well,
Is this part of the?
no, it's. I don't
No.
think so.
Definitely cut this clip.
I'm gonna leave it.
What? Oh, I see. Oh, sorry. Yeah, here it is. It goes right here.
Yeah.
I don't know why I was
But it
missing.
pushes on down in there.
Correct.
The seal's good on that.
It is. But anyway, you've got a little check ball in the back of it, and to test, make sure that it's working and not plugged up with anything. Take you something. I'm using a long drill bit in this case.
Something will fit in there.
And make sure you can feel the ball spring down and spring back up.
There you go. And just
Seal looks good enough to eat.
is it lubed up good
Yeah,
enough? You think?
I think so. I mean, it's transmission fluid all over
Now
everything.
that seat's all the way down in there, right?
Yep.
That's how it goes. Since I barely got it in the clip, I was watching you instead. It's got to drop through 2 of those frictions. Which I think
There we go. I think that's it.
put your finger through that hole. And then here, show video through that hole. That's going to speed sensitive. And you have that lined up.
Looks pretty close. I'll let you judge. But
Okay.
that's definitely further than what we were getting before.
That may be it.
I can see the gear, but it's not centered. Are you sure it's supposed to be centered?
That's what they said. It isn't going in far enough, I don't guess.
I feel like that's as far as it will go. Let me see if those teeth are lined up on the clutches. Well,
Are they or not?
they're not.
So they didn't set all the way down on that thing.
You're right.
That's what you're fighting.
You line them up a little better that time. There we go. That was
At
something.
least one of them dropped. Think 2 of them did?
It's not dead centered, but it's way closer than before.
Well, you probably got one more you got to find.
Let me pull it out and see if they lined up. I can't tell.
How many of them are there?
2.
I think those are the 2 that,
Reverse.
and that's what got crushed when they put it back together wrong in that one tech video.
Gotcha.
was the tech school. The instructor was showing how they trapped one of those, warped the friction. So, and you can see why it's tricky. We're going to pause this, but you see what we're up against. Just lifted the input drum up out of that hole in the table, and if you ever do one of these, one guy though, he just stood it all up in the rest of the gear assembly somehow and had that working. That's it, got a spline into something back in there.
Sure does.
And did it already?
It has, but it's not seated all the way yet.
How can you tell?
I think it just seated. I want to take it out to make sure.
Oh, your phone's ringing.
Okay. Oh, I see what's going on here.
Do those tabs have to drop in?
Well, and just the individual clutches have to line up here. You're just going to rotate the drum, wiggle it. This actually may work better if I put it back up flat, and that is what I'm going to do. Let's leave that there for now. And
You've got assembly lube everywhere you...
yes. All right, so what we're fighting now is just getting these two, and that should not be difficult at all, these two clutch bands to engage inside of here on this.
Oh, I got you.
So let's raise it up.
So you start it in, and then you probably should feel it as it drops on down.
And that was it right there.
Okay, now, what I saw
Yeah.
on the video is you should see right through that hole.
You should see the teeth.
Yeah.
Because you're close to seeing them, I might need to rotate it a little bit more. Because the teeth are right at the edge of the hole.
It should be dead center, and I don't think it is. Let me pause this. Our problem here was we didn't have that little four-way tool that you put a bar across and fulcrum down.
You push four
that piston.
Four positions here, right here. What we do have
is the Miller tool, 18 ounce, 17 ounce.
Yes.
You do need the 17 ounce
Valley Supreme.
Valley Supreme.
And guys, we would never use a good cue to do this. This is a tomato steak. You can see my table over there. It's
You see how good he
right now,
takes care of it?
I have a really nice table and really good cues. This is not one
It's a
of them.
nice old diamond, diamond 8.5 foot, very rare.
But anyway, we were able to have you put pressure right at the mouth of the spring. You want to start at the end of the spring.
Well, say first, you put that snap ring, you seat it
Yes.
down in there, and it did stay. It sat on
Right.
top of the piston.
You get it close to where it's basically your snap ring is sitting on these little flanges here, right there, and it will stay there. And then you get somebody with a long shaft of some sort and push down on that like this, while the other person fits the edge of the spring in,
Starts it under.
and then you move to the next clock position, push down, work it in, next, push down, work it in until it goes all the way in. Once you get to about 3/4 of the way through, it will probably just snap all the way in for you automatically. That's what ours did.
Cool. Pretty cute. In the videos, they put this whole assembly in at the same time after putting all the clutches in. That looks like it would be a little hard. So,
Well, it's not going in super.
it'd be especially hard if the whole assembly was together. So I think put this in first if you can get it in.
It goes in like this. So like that. So this would be next, and it would go like that.
There it went, didn't it?
Well, that's not all the way. This needs to go all the way in. In fact, I'm debating whether I need to take what we've got out and put this in And then, because this is the exact same problem I ran into the other day with the, oh, there we go. It's going a little bit further. Just want to make sure it's all the way and we're not missing one of those clutches, because I can't really tell. To me, it looks like there might be one more.
I don't know.
Because if you look at the position of these planetary gears, it looks like it'd be more centered on them if it was just a little bit further back. And just wiggle it, play with it for another minute and see if I can. Well, one thing that we can do to check is very carefully pull it out and see if all the teeth on the clutches are in the same orientation. And they are pretty close. Let me get one of my picks.
The little one?
This one should work. When you... little one might be better. Okay, that looks pretty close. And they were all semi-oriented there, so not us. Let's see, no, that goes in like this, so this goes in like this.
I think we made the same mistake we did putting the input drum together. Did it go?
I think it has gone. It's given me the willies here, because if you look at this tooth here on top, I feel like it should be pretty much level, or pretty close to level with that. I feel like we might be missing one band, but I'm not sure. I'm going to do the same thing a couple times. That's the exact same position it was in last time when we thought it was in all the way. So I think that it is in all the way, but I just don't want to fail on that, because...
So you're looking to make sure the clutches are all lined up.
And it looks like they are. It does look like they are. So Torrington's still in place. It took this gear with it this time, which is fine.
That Lucas assembly lube's good stuff.
Seems to be. Let's put that back in place. Like so. And now this will go in on top of it. And I think we did have it. I just am getting paranoid because of what happened with that input drum. So here we have the planetary gear that broke. This will go on the inside of the transmission, be the first part you reinstall, and it will insert this way with the Timken bearing.
And that big 37 millimeter nut
Threads into this. Now this is a little spacer that keeps these two pieces the right distance apart from each other. So you want to make sure that goes around the shaft like that.
Keeps those two bearings from interfering with each other.
And now this will go on the back side of the transmission, or actually I guess you'd say the side of the transmission, because this is a sideways unit. And then that big 38 millimeter nut with the washer goes through here, and it will draw these two together.
So that's the next thing we're putting in. Okay, that is your planet carrier there.
Correct. And this is going to insert all the way through, and you're going to kind of need to hold it in place. Not to be superstitious, but just making sure my spacer ring is still on there, and it is. I'm going to insert here onto the back.
Should get around there, show that.
Okay, it is started. Now this will draw it on the rest of the way.
I think let's degrease the bolt threads and put a little thread locker on that bolt. I think they were doing well. You know what? It's got that fixture around it. I don't see how it could ever.
Yeah, I'm going to torque the crap out of it, and it's going to be wet torque too. So
It's going to be 40 ugga-duggas or 50.
possibly more. It ain't going to come loose.
All right. Probably can't even see up in there what we're doing.
You can see a little bit. So I'm going to reach around and do this manually, but if you me spin this to where they can actually see it. If you look at this little lever that's gonna move up and down, that is your parking. That's when you put the car in park, that's what happens, is it blocks it from turning. So we're gonna manually keep this in place while I tighten it down to keep this from spinning.
And that big screwdriver worked pretty good to get it off.
I think this will be easier to use.
I think that'll work.
Hopefully.
I'm sure it will. Tech school guy showed doing it with a 1/4-inch ratchet handle.
And that would work as well, no doubt.
So you get it where you need to get it.
All right, that's engaged. Let's go ahead and...
Yeah, just show them right quick the nuts you're going to torque in. Take the phone.
Okay. Right, here she is on the back. I've got this wedged in place to keep that parking lever actuated, so when I torque this down, it is actually torquing it, not spinning the inner assembly.
And that's pulling that gear all the way on.
We're just going to check it slowly by slowly. Make sure everything looks like it is in place and we're not going to tear anything up. There still is some in play there which should not be there, but I haven't even
Fully torqued.
correct. I can give it some juice. That appeared to go on all the way. I'm still going to give it a little bit more juice, just going to make sure. Yeah, that's the way it should feel right there. There is the tiniest bit of play forward and back.
That's what it's called for, as well. Slight amount of preload is what they're called.
Yeah, it feels like it might be about 0.010 of an inch. Couldn't be a lot more than that. And I'm going to go ahead and put the juice on it to approximately 200 foot-pounds.
Yep.
It's about 75. 115.
That's good. That's
200.
Good. Yeah. Show them that little fixture. We showed it taking it apart, that little frame that goes around.
Yes, so you've got this armature here that will install first. Then you've got a wire cage that goes on like this. And then the nuts that go through those triangular armatures here, you bend those flanges back up over the head of the nut. And just out of curiosity, I measured the other ones, but I want to measure the new versus
The frictions.
yeah.
The old frictions were about 0.02 of an inch less than the new Borg Warners.
These are the old ones. These are 72,000. Well, let me see the better measurement there. 75 thousandths.
Okay.
And then the new Borg Warner is 74,500.
It's not as thick as the old one, then, is it?
Oh wow! So there was absolutely nothing wrong with the
old-
frictions.
So we're going to keep these steels so we don't want to have to match up something that may not be the right thickness. We're going to keep the old steel plates and just drop in the frictions. I'm going to pause this while we do that because we need all hands on deck. This little thing in my hand here,
Came out in between
knock it around a little bit.
this little piece of metal.
Yeah, we don't want them floating around.
No, they typically won't help anything.
Perfect time. I wasn't literally supposed to sit down.
Good deal.
Hey,
How are you?
I'm good. You?
I'm pretty good.
Hey, see if this piece that's laying right there sticks to that magnet. No, not that.
Oh,
That,
yeah.
It's that little chunk that's
It will.
Okay, yeah, it did. Okay, so we're going to.
Ice, sit down. Sit down. Sit.
Just going to run this magnet back through there in case there's any little scraps of planet gear explosion. So we'll be doing that for a bit. I think they really couldn't get a hold of any other fragments of steel. They would drop down into the pan through that.
Probably wouldn't be.
I don't think they would get absorbed into anything to tear up, but better not to test that theory. All right, we're moving right along.
Next thing that's going to go in, we've got a steel, and there is a specific way that these go.
They line up in those grooves.
They do, and I want to make sure we get them there. I think it matches up like that.
Playing with toddler toys when you were young. That
Yeah.
kinda gets you ready for this, right?
It does. All right, so I'm assuming the next generation of bands are going to use these teeth at the bottom, or something's going to use those teeth at the bottom. Matched it up best I could. It does look like this brief gap in the teeth here lines up with this brief gap here. So I think I do have that incorrect, but there is this gap, that one, and that one that do not have teeth inserted into them.
You
So
can pull it back out.
I can. If
I mean, do you need to? You
I don't
think so?
believe so. I believe that that is correct.
Well, I thought you said you had it incorrect.
No, I said I believe I have it in, comma, correct.
Now as you pull it out. All right, put it back.
But I believe the way that it goes in, oh, this is actually pretty handy. See that it goes in like that.
I bet some transmission guys would like that idea. Something you can learn from rank
Okay,
novices.
so let's discard the first band. This is, and we're saving these. We're totally saving these because there is nothing.
This is a rebuild kit
Yeah.
for another transmission.
Right.
That's what we're taking out of
Absolutely.
here.
But since I've got the new parts, why not? So,
Plus, we know these are Borg Warners. We do not know what the old ones were, but I bet they probably were.
they
too.
probably were. All right, next thing, another steel.
And these are the original steels in perfect shape.
Here's another little.
Ooh.
It's a good thing we've taken this apart because those are sticking to the steels from where it nuked itself before. All right, so let me insert that one. Right. That.
Okay, we're just going to finish this stack. I'm going to go ahead and
Okay,
pause.
now that the snap rings are back in and this assembly is back together, it'll look like that from the top side. We're gonna slide it back down. Okay, it is in place properly. Now this already has the Torrington on both sides. The assembly lube is sticking it on.
So you've got assembly lube in those gear teeth as well.
Correct.
Otherwise, there would be weeping and gnashing of teeth.
There you go.
So it's all the way down.
That is all the way down.
And by the way, we looked at some seals on a shaft that we couldn't get to. Actually, that shaft drives out of that assembly, and you can easily get to those seals.
Hang
But
on.
again, folks, these seals and these rings and everything we're taking out of this unit look just as good as the new ones in the kit. And I know you can't just go only by that, but we believe this is not that long. And you compared the Transco shift kit
I did.
to what's already in this.
I did.
You could return it. They was what, $25?
No, I'll keep it for the next one.
Stick it in another van.
Slightly. Just because that mounts that. And then Torrington goes on top. That. And then this bad boy should
Just trying.
All right, so we're putting our snap rings back in. One of them is going to go into this bottom groove. You will need a pick several times because it's going to try to go into the wrong groove.
Just gotta go on the bottom.
Yep. Okay, now if my understanding is correct, this will drop in here like such.
So it is sitting on that ring you just put.
Correct. And then you put this ring in over top like that. And so that's why previous video we were looking at this.
That's what you were, okay, yeah. Okay, got it. It's definitely a weak point. I'm assuming, yeah, they had to weld it together because they'd have never gotten these things in there.
Looks like some pretty gnarly looking gorilla welds to me. I mean, I have half of mine to spot these
Take it over there to the miller.
and just for some insurance. I don't guess I will, but I promise you this, if it ever happens again there, I'm definitely doing that because I can see this is not good
It was
welding.
a unique situation where it was in a hard pull and it went second to first, and it's, you know, we just try to avoid that ever happening again. So we're gonna see how far we can get going back together with this thing.
All right, so going back together, what we've come up with, get the one out of the way. I have got this back together, I believe the way that it is supposed to go. None of the clutches are trapped. Everything moves freely, and I checked that with the other internal clutches. You can spin this
Yeah,
freely.
that one tech video, they bound up one of those
Right.
clutches, and so everything's moving easily.
So there is a 4-pronged washer here. You see it matches the 4 prongs on this gear.
We got some Lucas assembly lube.
And you just want to line up those prongs, and then you just kind of rotate it and wiggle it until you get it to drop all the way down like that. And if you look, you can see that those prongs have protruded through this gear. So it is all the way down.
Okay. And
Next.
by the way, Lucas says this is good for transmission assembly, so
Next part
we're
to
rolling with it.
install, and this does have a Torrington bearing on it. Just slip that over the top, and they only go on one way. If you try to put them on upside down, they don't seat. They're made that they only go on one way.
Yeah, that tech instructor at FCA 41TE teardown, he said,
that on right there.
let's put a little bit of this assembly lube, just a dot or two. I don't know how necessary it would be, but it's certainly gonna hurt nothing. Well, that's not a dot or two, that's a glob.
Globs are good.
Lucas said that it blends well with any ATF fluid. So.
All right, there we go. Next part is going to be right here, and you can see the Torrington that we put on. That's what the bottom of this gear rests on. And drop that on like that. There's also a Torrington on top.
I would put assembly lube in the teeth of that gear, and where it meshes with the planet assembly gears, probably be a good idea.
And now, final piece. This is the part that broke in the previous. This should, just gotta wiggle it a little bit before I actually had to put the gear in here first.
Yeah, definitely want assembly lube in those gear meshes there. Now the outer tooth area of this,
Yeah.
you want to lube that. What's it turning on?
Okay, and so that is all in place. So we're going to drop this. Kind of hold that a little bit. It makes it easier to go on. And this will drop into place in just a second.
It's just kind of trial and error from the videos we've watched. There's a lot of teeth that have to line up at the same time.
Yeah, best way that I found to do it earlier when I was doing it is to insert this one first, like that, and try to hold it. It will drop on in a sec.
definitely supposed to drop on down.
Definitely. Yeah, no, I've had it together a few times. We just took it back apart to do the video, but this is how it went back together the other time. I had a little trouble with it before, and I found, for whatever reason, that sticking this gear in to the planet assembly first. See how hard that was to get in? That's what you're fighting.
Okay, yeah, I see what you're saying.
So if you get that in first, before it was dropping in with a minimal amount of effort. Of course, the jinx of the video is going to come into play without a doubt.
Okay, we paused it while we wrestled with it. Trust us, it did finally drop down. It's just a matter of
I can lift it up a little bit like that to show you. It'll go, there we go.
That's fully in.
Correct.
Okay, we got the Planet gear assembly in from up in Ohio. I think it's called Transmission Warehouse.
So this is the new one. I'm gonna set it like that. Here is the old one. You can tell that that is the same part, and you can see the part that broke on ours is this. It sat in there like that.
Fortunately, this did have the Timken bearing on it.
I will say, it looks pretty gnarly. I'm sure it's fine, but
That might be the way they...
it must be. But I mean, you see, there's when they welded it. I mean, there's holes and fissures in that. That doesn't really fill me with confidence, but we'll see. This is 80 thousandths thick. Probably needs to be more like 65, 60 or 65 would be my guess.
And that goes on top of this part. And that's one of the thrust washers.
That you adjust in play with.
And we're gonna have to get a thinner one because the new Planet assembly we put in
Must be a tad longer.
must be slightly longer, so we can't get the end plate set correct. The thing is binding when you tighten the pump down in. Got no end play, you can't even turn the shaft. So we're gonna have to get a thinner washer. This is the shop manual for that transmission. Step 40, apply assembly lube to the number 4 thrust plate and press it onto the OD overdrive clutch hub. This plate comes in several thicknesses and is the selective adjustment for input shaft end play. I think from what I read, and several people have apparently done it, at least at regular thrust washers, certainly ought to be able to do it to this one. I think we need to take it down 20 thousandths. If you can figure out a way to put it on a piece of glass or tile that's nice and smooth, and just use your sander somehow and just knock 20 thousandths off of it, because we had no end play. Worse than no end play, it was actually in a bind. So it's going to have to come down at least 20 thousandths, and then we'll try it. I do have some coming, but I probably shouldn't have ordered them, to be honest, because the thinnest one was 0.069, and we need something about 0.060 or even 0.055. Anyway, that's the update.